How I achieved more in 90 days than most people do in 1 year. Most people are not lazy. They're just stuck in a cycle. And I was too, until I discovered a framework that changed everything for me. It's called the IDLE framework, IDLE, which stands for interrupted, disorganized, laboring, and exhausted. If you are in this state, no strategy in the world will save you. In this video, I'm going to explain how I escaped the cycle, took back my time, and created real results. Goals that typically should take a year for me to achieve is now taking me 90 days to achieve them. So today I'm going to be teaching you exactly what I'm doing, the results I got. Let me show you. How I achieve more in 90 days than most people do in 1 year. So I'm going to walk you through this IDLE framework. It doesn't mean you're going to be idle doing nothing. You're going to be doing something, but the thing you're going to be doing is going to be so high leverage. It's going to give you a much higher return on your time. So the first thing I decided to do is I decided to change the time I wake up in the morning. I decided to start waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning. So it means that I have to go to bed by 8 p.m. in the night. It really was a big change because I got in the rut of constantly doing work in the night. Then I get tired in the morning, then it affects the rest of my day. So I structured my day this way from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m., from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., and from 8 p.m. back to 4 a.m. I'll show you exactly what I mean. I want you to ask yourself 4 questions. The first question is, who are you when you're not interrupted? Who are you when you're not interrupted? When you start waking up early in the morning, one of the biggest benefits is people wouldn't reach out to you at 4 a.m. in the morning. Most people are asleep. If you are able to start waking up around this time, one of the things you start noticing is you have extra time that is not interrupted. No crazy emails are coming in at that time, no phone calls, no text messages, absolutely nothing. You start to realize that you are more productive. So this time I spend it in the morning to be able to pray, meditate, and start to do the work that I need to get done. 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. is my golden hour. That's the time I spend in order to take care of myself and do some deep work. Before the world wakes up, before everybody is busy, before the phone starts to ring, and before text message starts to come in, I get ahead of my time. One of the rules are, once I decide to start work, I do not look on my phone and I don't check emails. I don't. The thing is, if you make a mistake to go open social media or something, you lose your interrupted time. So this is how I've been able to hone a lot of my time now to get a lot of things done. And I'll tell you exactly what I've achieved at the end of the video. Stay tuned. From 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. is uninterrupted time. So the question is, who are you when you're not interrupted? How do you show up? How do you go about your day? How do you go about your week? When you're not interrupted, how do you show up in life and business? I've realized that I show up very differently when I'm not interrupted. A lot of the reasons that you've not been able to do the things that you want to do is you start something, you have to stop to take care of something else. And you start something, you have to stop to take care of something else. You're constantly being interrupted. Maybe you have momentum and somebody will just break the momentum. What you want to do is you want to take some of your time back by waking up at a time and start working that people cannot access. When you're not interrupted, you get much more done than somebody who is waking up at the normal hours that people know that they can get them, emails, phone calls, text messages, notifications everywhere. If this is hitting home, drop idle in the comments. I know you're done wasting time and you're ready to work smarter. The second question I want you to ask yourself is, who are you when you're not disorganized? Who are you when you're not disorganized? If you want to know when something is going on in my life, if you come to my home or you come to my office or anywhere you find me, and you realize that the place is disorganized, there's something going on. My environment is the reflection of my mind. That's one of the things I've noticed. So before I start work, I always make sure that I'm very organized. This is the time I get organized, from 10 a.m. all the way to 4 p.m. because that is when the world wants everything from you. And if you don't have proper structure in place, they will get you. They will always look for a way that's, oh, there's like, stop for 5 minutes. I want to ask you something. Can you quickly jump on a call? Can you quickly jump on a meeting? Make sure that you are super organized. How I avoid a lot of unnecessary meetings are, before somebody asks me to jump on a meeting, I'll ask them, what is the agenda for the meeting? And when they tell me the agenda, I was like, oh, we don't need a meeting for this. I can answer it by email. Super simple, because once somebody gets you into a meeting, when you're not careful, they drags and drags and drags and you don't get anything done. Sometimes they'll tell you that, oh, the agenda for the thing that they want to talk to you about, it's something that you can actually just answer by a simple text message or a simple email. You don't have to jump on a meeting on everything. And people are always trying to get you disorganized. So you're always attending to other people, but you're not really taking time for yourself. Make sure that around this time, I call it the peak hours, when people are up, when people are positioned to be able to draw from you, make sure that you are not disorganized and you're on top of everything. Have a framework, have a system, have a plan in place that you can follow and stick to it. Because people will try as much as possible to disorganize the way you are going about to do your things. So you need to first make sure that your environment is organized. And secondly, also make sure that you are organized in your day-to-day activities. Rather than constantly responding to people, be proactive. Already have certain things in place that you can tell people when you are sure to do something or not. Let me give you an example. Anytime people reach out to me that they want something from me, and I'm not ready to make a decision, I just tell them that I'm not interested at this time, but if anything changes, I'll let you know. This saves me a lot. Maybe somebody's like, oh, I have a pitch for you. I have an opportunity for us to make this amount of money. I want to have the opportunity for you to do this. My answer is 90% of the time, no. Why? Because this is how people get you disorganized. This is how they get you off your game. If you're not on top of things, what usually happens is now you are just sporadically responding to people and you don't have time to do anything for yourself. So get super organized, have a framework you go by. When people send an email for specific things, have templates that you've already put down to respond to them. Everybody knows that around this time, if you're my friend and you call me, I'm not picking up. Everybody knows. They know that, oh, this guy, if you call him around this time, you're not going to get him. The time you usually get him is after working hours. And it's good. It's a system you've put in place. So don't let them get you disorganized. So around 10 a.m. this time, I'll usually check my email to make sure that everything is going well with the business. Then I'll also eat breakfast around this time. So this is the time I'll check my last email for the day to make sure everything is good with the business. And this is the time I get off work to have my early dinner. The next question I have for you is, who are you when you're not laboring? Who are you when you're not laboring? When you're not doing hard, tedious work? When you are not stressed out? When you are not fatigued and anxious? Who are you and what version of yourself shows up? This right here is one of the most important things you can do, because this starts to set you up for the next day. I usually spend this time from 4 p.m. to about 8 p.m. to be able to just do personal things. If I need to go and meet up somebody for dinner, I'll spend that time to do dinner with them. If I need to call a friend, I call a friend. If I need to watch a podcast, I'll watch a podcast. When I need to go to my backyard and water my plants, I do that. This is time that you take off work to try and rejuvenate yourself. So who are you when you're not laboring, when you're not doing hard, tedious work, and when you're not stressed out? Who are you? How do you show up? This is the question you need to ask yourself, and do the things that put you in the zone of relaxation. If you have a podcast to listen to it. If you have a friend that's interesting and funny, you want to call them at this time. If you have a book you want to read. This is relaxation. This sets you up for the rest of the evening and puts you in the right mind state. And lastly, who are you when you're not exhausted? Who are you when you're not exhausted? When you take some time off to get your 8 hours of sleep. For me, this is usually from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m., the time I sleep and rest. If you call me around this time, you will not be able to get me because I'm resting, I'm sleeping. I don't pick up calls right now around this time anymore. Because if I don't get in my sleep, what usually happens is I start a vicious cycle and I take all that sleeplessness, that tiredness, negative energy, that lack of sleep, I take it back into the other day and it messes me up. When you're exhausted, almost everything feels annoying. People speak to you and you're annoyed. People try and do certain things with you and you're irritated. Someone who is not well rested is not somebody that you want to be dealing with. And most people wonder why they've not been able to do a lot this year. I guarantee you it's one of the following of these things. We're human beings, we're not robots. You cannot work yourself to the ground and burn yourself out and expect to show up as the best version of yourself. It does not work like that. And these are the things I realized that were impeding me for me to move my life and my business forward. I was overworking myself, overstretching myself, overextending myself, and thought some way, somehow, that is adding some value to my life and business. To recap my IDOL framework, you need to ask yourself 4 questions. And the 4 questions are, who are you when you're not interrupted, disorganized, laboring, and exhausted? Who are you and how do you show up in the world? When I started to wake up at 4 a.m. so that I don't get interrupted by other people, and I started to get very organized, then I stopped laboring after working hours and I went to bed early so I don't wake up exhausted. My life began to change, and I'll share with you some of the results for me doing these things. And this is how I went from idle to productive. If this is hitting home, drop idle in the comments. I know you're done wasting time and you're ready to work smarter. Now here are some of the major goals I achieved. 1. Praying more and building a deeper connection with God. Because I was waking up early, I was praying more and I started to build a deeper connection with God. 2. I memorized 40 plus Bible verses within a short period of time, from beginning to end, and I'll do another video about it into detail on how I did this. 3. Meditated for 90 days straight and I calmed my mind. I realized that I had a more calm mind, a more relaxed demeanor because I was meditating in the morning before I started anything. 4. I worked out and burned 2,000 plus calories every single day. I didn't miss one day of my workout. And you know what happens when you're always working out? It boosts your morale and your confidence. 5. Generated 100 plus pieces of content ready to go. So I've created so much content within this time period. I have some in my planner, I have some in my notes, more than enough content to last me, hopefully for the rest of this year. And I did this all within the first 90 days of this year. 6. I posted 60 plus threads. I've been posting more on threads and I've been testing the platform in order for me to create more content. 7. I posted 40 plus YouTube long form content and shorts together. So on YouTube long and YouTube shorts combined, I posted 40 plus times. If you go on my YouTube, you realize that since January, I've been consistently posting because I was waking up early and I was able to strategize my time. 8. My business sales has 3x'd. We've increased the amount of sales we made compared to any other year I've been in business. That is really wild to think about. 9. I'm adding 4 new team members to our agency. So we as a business are expanding our team and bringing more people in. 10. Successfully transitions to new agency platform. We have successfully transitioned to a new platform for our digital agency that is going to help us to even grow more. 11. I've read and reread 8 books. If you didn't know, I'm not a big reader, but because I was able to structure my time, I've now been able to read more books than I usually read. 12. I filled out 100% of my program for Success Planner. Usually I'll do like 80%, but this time around it's full and it has a lot of good information. 13. I had some outstanding loans that were open and I paid them all off. It was a lot. To zero. The amount of time that I've been telling myself that I'll take care of that, I'll take care of that. And the Q1 of this year, I paid it all off to 0. I don't know if I can mention the amount, but it was a lot. 14, 15, I have 2 major life updates I will tell you about later this year. I promise I'll tell you, but not today. So this is the framework that I use to achieve more in the first 90 days than what I usually achieve in a whole year. It's just mind-boggling. When you decide to wake up in the morning and you're very intentional and you have a framework like my ideal framework and you go through it step by step so you don't allow people to steal your time, you are organized. You stop laboring after working hours to do something to replenish you and you get enough rest. The difference it makes is night and day. And I'm so optimistic for the rest of the year because of the results already that I'm seeing in my personal life and in my business. I'm super optimistic and I'll definitely be giving you some more updates later this year. I have some major things I want to share with you, so stay tuned. If you want to be able to use the planner I use today, I'm using my Program for Success Planner. It's available on Amazon. You can just type in Program for Success Planner by Kimbari and you'll find it on Amazon. I'm going to link it below. If you're interested, you can find it in the description. Here is the lesson from today. Your next level isn't in another strategy. It's in reclaiming your day. My name is Kimbari. If you enjoyed this video, click here to watch my next video.